Alright, this little kid is just sprinting around after these Pikachus. And I'm waiting for these parent geese to just literally kick his ass. I mean, he's getting really close. The parents are just over there feeding said geese. I kind of want to see the attack. Because at this point, I feel bad for the babies. And I think he's justified for an ass whooping. Don't touch it! Oh my god. Oh my god, I just filmed it. Holy shit.
Hey guys, welcome back to 420 Somewhere. It is that, and it's Monday, and somebody just honked. Do they not realize that they're driving through? Anyway, so we have two stories today. We're going to start with one, bit of a Frankenstein bill that is potentially coming back this week, they say. The MORE Act, the Marijuana Opportunity, Reinvestment, and Expungement Act that passed the House in 2018, did not pass the Senate because the Republicans were in control of the Senate at the time. That is coming back with a few changes to it. Good changes, actually, this time around, because now that there are Democrats in control, they have more leniency to do things that they want to do. In particular, at the last minute last time, before it was signed, or before it was voted on, they had to take away something that now made it impossible for people who had past criminal charges from marijuana. They were not allowed to create marijuana businesses, which seems like an absurd thing. That is back now in the bill. So that, along with one that's extremely exciting, where anyone who has been affected by the war on drugs, they are now, not only are they getting help in the marijuana business and getting loans for creating new businesses that have to do with marijuana, they are also getting loans for businesses in anything. It's not just loans, it's financial literacy programs and job training. And again, it's not just in the marijuana industry, it's in any industry, which is a hugely important and probably very integral part of the bill. So the fact that will be added is a very exciting thing. So in 2018, this passed. In 2021, it surely will pass as well. And there have been 4 sources have told Marijuana Moment that this will be out before the Memorial Day recess. That would mean that this bill, the MORE Act, along with a Senate bill that Schumer, what's his name? Wyden and Cory Booker have been working on forever. That assumingly will be out at some point, but they're taking a very long time in crafting that bill. So we have these two that are kind of taking charge in the federal level, which seems to show that 2021 will be a year where we have federal marijuana being talked about very seriously and potentially even acting upon. So cool.
Do you notice that you tend to forget things after smoking weed? Well, here's why and what you can do about it. We've talked before about how THC works by binding to cannabinoid receptors in your brain. And it turns out one of the areas with a high concentration of cannabinoid receptors is your hippocampus, and that's responsible for memory. One way to alleviate this would be to choose a strain that's high in alpha-pinene. Pinene has been hypothesized by some leading cannabis researchers to reduce the memory-impairing effects of THC. And one strain that tends to be high in alpha-pinene is Blue Dream.
Second story, I was going to start with this one, but I decided to start with that one because that's better news. This is not so good news. A new study came out that shows a correlation between states with legal marijuana and more calls being called to the poison control for kids that are getting their hands on edibles, on vape juice, on concentrates, and in particular edibles. I guess it comes as no surprise, but because where there's legal marijuana, there's going to be more edibles. But this goes back to our past story which was talking about how edibles are kind of in this weird murky area of advertising for seemingly kids or teenagers because of the colorful boxes, and they just look like candy, especially when you're not used to like kind of looking out for that little marijuana plant. It's easy to get fooled by it. I'm not really sure what the solution is for that, except for just as a parent, don't buy edibles that look like candy, or just keep them far, far away from your kids, which sounds like an easy thing, but it's probably much easier said than done. That or brownies or cookies or any kind of those sweets that are actually edibles, because that's where you get in real trouble, because a serving size of a brownie as opposed to a serving size of an edible brownie is much, much different. Packaging is a real thing. This is probably one of those areas where we need much more packaging as opposed to much less. And there's a bit of a list from one doctor, Dr. Johnston. He's a doctor somewhere, who says for parents with kids and want to have edibles, don't purchase edibles that could be mistaken for candy. Yeah. Store these products securely in a locked location away from children, and always leave edible products in their original packaging. That last one kind of seems important. But, common sense goes only so far when it comes to kids who have quite a sweet tooth. So be careful. I don't know. I don't have kids, so what's for me to say? Those are the two stories. Let me know if you think that the MORE Act will get passed this time, not only the House, but the Senate also. And hopefully it does. We'll see you on Wednesday to talk about more stuff.
There have already been many cases of living with a stoner girlfriend, but we're going to call this case 1 so we can start to keep a good track. So, when you go to the bathroom and there are veggie pepperoni pizza bites thawing on the toilet! God!